Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now we have Battleground Season 32 nodes announced. And genuinely, this time, and again, I'm not being funny, it actually looks kind of good. Both of these metas are metas that I'm kind of looking forward to playing, so hope they work out as well. So overview, okay, Season 32 is prepped and ready to go. The one thing that still confuses me is absence to change of alliance event, because this is like a big thing that I don't think gets talked enough about. And that is the Elder Marks. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a massive fan of Elder Marks to begin with. No, I think the Battlegrounds as a game mode would have been better off if they had never been introduced. But if they have been introduced, I also think that Kabam might as well do something about them rather than letting them just expire or people using them so they don't go in overflow. Because the rewards, effectively, from Alliance Battlegrounds event are so outdated, it's not even funny. They don't feature tier 7 basics at all. You can get like a tier 4 alpha at most. I'm kind of messing with alliances by doing this as well, because previously we had alliances that actually focused on pushing up the BG scores and stuff like that, and there were several alliances specifically made for Battlegrounds and, you know, putting up big scores in that event, and those alliances just have no reason to exist right now. At the very least in that context, or they have to kind of like restructure their focus points on either AQ and Prestige or War or what have you. So I do find it odd that it's been such a crazy long time since that has been addressed. But now to the nodes themselves. So the preseason and victory track. Mr. Fantastic's resolve. In my testing, as much as I have played with this node, I found it extremely inconvenient. Because for most of the champions you use, you don't necessarily focus on knocking down champions as much. And even though the debuff Siphon does have a nice benefit as well as specials and heavy attacks gaining plus 50% attack rating is not bad. Oh wait, is Conchuzang back or not? Conchuzang is not back, that's bad. But what I was trying to say with here is that many of the Saga champions really don't have the playstyle or the kind of like benefit from this node in my experience, and there are a few champions that benefit like a lot from it, but I think the Invisible Woman's one was cooler. Anyways, ready for all things, the defender starts the fight with the following debuffs: 15 seconds each, refresh on knockdown, unaffected by ability accuracy reduction. So this is all three Mr. Fantastic's pre-fights active, which I do find to be very, very cool. It does make me sad that I don't have 7-star Void, let alone high 6 7-star Void. Because Wood's going to be the daddy with these nodes, man. He's going to be, you know, putting up some damage numbers from the beginning of the fight, and then, you know, as he amps up. This looks very, very good for Void. This is going to be very helpful for a few other champions like Luke Cage and stuff like that. So I do love this twist. This is the first season we have had something like that, and kind of interesting. And yeah, you know what? I like to see that. I think it makes the fights a bit more, like, less vanilla, more interesting. Right. So now, the offensive buffs, the defender nodes basically. The Footloose 2, after activating special attack, defender becomes unstoppable and has 25% chance to evade attacks for 5 seconds. Okay, fair enough. And Rich Get Richer, champion more unique buffs, gains 5% of bar power for every second. I think it's a cool combo, because I think it has benefits to the defender and it has benefits to the attacker. And I think it can be quite an interesting match, especially considering the circumstances where, number one, you get rewarded if you have a lot of buffs. You're going to be getting a significantly more power than you normally would. That's cool, that makes the meta more nukey. Obviously, if you have defenders with a lot of buffs, you know, obviously they will get more special attacks. They activate the special attack, they get even more buffs, and then, you know, they gain the benefit from Rich Get Richer. And at the same time, obviously, Unstoppable and Evade is something that you typically just not deal with the vast majority of the champions, so you have to kind of wait it out, and you have to in most cases probably suffer the penalty of Rich Get Richer. At the same time, this kind of turbocharges Mystic Champions, because you get buffs to neutralize or nullify and so on and so forth. And at the same time, you know, you do have unique attackers that will benefit from it. For instance, having easy access to slow gets rewarded a lot here. And so I think it's cool. I think it's going to be fairly nuky meta, but it's a fairly nuky meta with some significant roster empowerments and some, you know, maybe a bit less than standard choices. So for victory attack, I think it's great. Now, the fact that Gladiator Circuit doesn't get any extra nodes, but it does have significantly more potent Rich Get Richer node. We'll see how that works out. Because, you know, a crazy amount of power gain typically is not the greatest combination. But again, you know, you can make it work in your benefit instead. So, typically Kabam adds an extra node here. I guess that some found it unnecessary with the amount of power gain increase. Because 12% of a bar of power every second is a lot of power. This is a lot of power. So, going further, weeks 3 and 4 buffs. So these are the real important ones, right? These are the ones that will matter most. Like these, I will make whatever champions I have work for, and these are typically the ones that I actually rank up champions for. And here we do have the first two nodes the same, as in like Mr. Fantastic's Resolve and Mr. Fantastic's Pre-Fight. And then we have Safeguard, which in essence is a node that inherently slows down fights. So it's not going to be super nuky meta. And then we have Pay Over Time, again, which in essence typically is a node that slows down the fights because you do need to mitigate the regeneration or the fights are going to be slower. But at the same time, because it is a regeneration buff, you know, Mystic Champions can benefit from it with the neutralize and so on and so forth. So I look forward to using this one. I think it's been a while since we have had a Safeguard-esque type of node. And yeah, I think it's going to be cool. I think some champions obviously immediately discarded as unusable due to this. For instance, you know, Juggernaut, you will not want to really use with Safeguard. But at the same time, you know, some champions that are already good will get highlighted more, like, you know, Okoye, for example, or I know Onslaught is going to just spread through this one. And surprisingly, for both of these, it's kind of crazy. You're finally allowed to parry. Parry and heavy is back on the menu, so I'm sure. So yeah, that is genuinely kind of surprising. Another thing that I want to double check. Suppression. I wonder how suppression is going to interact with like Bastion and a few more champions that reduce opponent's combat power rate. Could be interesting. But again, generally, I think that by the looks of it, will be a bit more variety. Some champions, again, that we often use are going to be unusable. You know, for instance, Shocker with Safeguard is going to absolutely suck, which is bad for me because I have a rank 4 one. Yeah, no. I think Kabam did quite well with the nodes. Again, I think the weeks 3 and 4 meta is the better one, the more interesting one. I think the weeks 1 and 2 meta is going to be a bit more crazy and nuky, and you're either going to get trapped and you're going to get BS fight, or you're going to nuke something very, very fast. Cool. And then we do have Saga rewards, and it's effectively the same thing as always. So for victory track, 1 invade essence when complete the victory track, 5 research grants when completing the victory track, Gladiator Circuit. You have your invade essence if you finish in Celestials, basically. And emote is the leader focusing, so that's cool. My $1 Drax emote is still way cooler. And Kabam has not taken it back, FYI. And if they take away my $1 Drax emote, I want my dollar back. But there we are. That's about it. Season 32 definitely looks better. I think that is the big takeaway here. You can expect potential MVP videos at some point soon. I will be testing the metas in off-season, of course, but currently there's still plenty of work to do besides testing off-season value rounds, like finishing 9.3 and side quest and so on. So I'll catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we have